Welcome back to another episode of Marketing Pack Leaders, the show where we break down how modern product marketers and go-to-market leaders build authority, alignment, and revenue in fast-moving markets. I'm your host, Josh Porter, founder of Thunderwolf Consulting, where I help AI growth stage companies turn complex products into compelling, differentiated stories the sales teams can actually execute on. Today, we're diving into go-to-market strategy for AI scale-ups, specifically on how to align product marketing and sales when you're dealing with complex technology in evolving markets. To help unpack that, I'm joined today by Tom Malesic. Tom is a marketing and technology leader at EZSolutions, where he helps organizations simplify complex digital solutions and drive measurable business outcomes. With experience in product marketing, go-to-market strategy, and customer engagement, Tom focuses on turning technical capabilities into clear, value-driven messaging. He works closely with small business owners to align strategy, accelerate adoption, and help companies communicate their solutions in ways that resonate with real customer needs. Tom, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's start with alignment. Where do you find that most AI scale-ups misalign their product, their marketing, and the sales? And how does that show up in their go-to-market motion?
Yeah, it predominantly shows up within a mismatched messaging. So a lot of times, especially technical companies in general, they want to talk about what's the technical piece of it, not about the problem that the technology solves.
Mm-hmm.
So the mismatch is when the buyer comes there, do they understand how that particular piece of software or technology is going to help them with whatever problem or challenging that they're currently facing? So when everything sounds confusing, buyers can't buy because they're not 100% sure what they're buying. And I think it's a common trap, especially in tech companies, right? We pound our chest a little too much and we talk bigger than what is understandable.
Got it. Yeah. So yeah, it's this tricky thing because this technology can be so complex, and you want to be able to sound smart and sophisticated, but that can alienate some of your buyers. And if you don't have any buyers, then it doesn't matter how great it is. So
Right.
going back to what their pain is and how are they actually going to use it in their specific case, that's more important than showing how dazzling your product is.
Yeah, and I think they missed the dazzling part. So when they try to sound super smart and sophisticated, it's not just that they alienate the buyers, it's the buyer's confused. So if the buyer doesn't know what they're getting or how it's going to help them, then they can't make a buying decision. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it's the principle of a confused prospect never buys. So we need to cut through all level of confusion so that when they get to your homepage or whatever they're reading about you, they go, "Oh my gosh, that's me. I have that problem. Sometimes I didn't even know I had that problem. These people can help me." Right? It's I don't want to say it's infomercial, but it is, right? Like I didn't know I needed the wow chamois before I saw it, but now, oh my gosh, I have to have that. And all marketing, all messaging goes back to, does the buyer see themselves in your copy and in your imagery to say, this is me, I need this?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Do they see themselves in what you're trying to communicate?
Yeah.
And if they don't, then just
And
move on.
yeah, and all AI stuff, like people don't really know what to do with it. Right? So since when something is so new, you have to be overly specific with case studies or very detailed explanation of here's how it helps you.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, great way to kind of start this discussion with how that alignment really helps and how the messaging needs to not only align internally, but needs to align with the customer. And if it doesn't resonate with them, then it doesn't matter ultimately to them.
Yeah.
So awesome. Next question is about AI companies, how they're dealing with mostly technical products, very highly technical products. How should they translate complex technical capabilities into messaging that actually drives adoption? And I know we talked a little bit about this, but love some
Yeah.
additional thoughts on this.
Yeah. Additional thoughts is storytelling. So can I show a use case example, or can I tell you a story or a testimonial, or show you some numbers or metrics that says, when I from the customer standpoint, when they bought our product or service, what's the result that they had? There's no better way to do that than video.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend that the more you can integrate video into your marketing, the better, right? We're lazy. We don't want to read. We want summaries. Like,
Yes.
it's just true, right? That's why we do podcasts. Oh, I'd rather just listen to it, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the more you can tell the story, and then they can see themselves in the story of, oh, you're right. So let's just take an example. So we use a platform called hats.ai. It's hatz.ai. And it's essentially, it's a large language model and AI aggregator, right? And so when you read a lot of their sales literature, it's very technical. And that's not how people buy. But the benefit of it is, one, everything's in a secure platform, and you don't have to buy 7 different platforms and pay all these fees, and you can't bounce from one thing to another. Like, the benefit of the software is huge. And the
Yes.
more that the company can articulate, the benefit you get is cost savings, convenience of bouncing from one to the next, and just flat out security. Like people are just sticking their data in free chat GPT. Like, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing? Um, so it's really about the value that you're bringing, and to be able to tell the story or show an example, show product demos on the site. I think a lot of times tech companies try to hide this behind a you got to fill out a form to get a demo. I don't know if they're worried about intellectual property. I really don't know what they're worried about, or maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
just marketing laziness. Is that if I can see it and I can watch it, I go, oh, you know what? I think my team could use that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it really comes down to is like, can I use this thing? If I can't use it, then it doesn't really have any relevance for me.
You got it.
So yeah, the storytelling is really key because that's how we learn. That's one of the easiest ways to learn. So
Yeah.
I think you really hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah.
Uh, so a lot of AI companies are introducing solutions that buyers they don't fully understand. I think this kind of gets into it, what we're talking about here. What does an effective go-to-market strategy look like in that situation to kind of help? Essentially, what we're talking about is education. It's not just
Yes.
marketing; it's higher level than that. It's education.
Yeah. I think educational sections are great, right? So on your blog, can you walk through different sections of how would you use this, right? There's so much, especially in AI. Boy, there's so much that people are just um, we're just really at the very beginning of this, and even companies that think that they're running with the tech, they're probably not, right? Where we are today and where we're going to be 3 years from now, it's not even going to be close. We're going to look back at today and go, what were we even doing? you know,
Yeah.
um, and it's so much about, well, how do you use a workflow, and how do things integrate, and help me understand how I'm integrating platforms with Outlook, that it's pushing, that my new AI platforms are pushing things into Outlook or into Salesforce or Go High Level or HubSpot or Asana, right? That all these tools that you use right now, that you use them in silos, that you're using them together. Or how are you building dashboards to analyze your manufacturing data and losses within product? Or it's so much is just at the very beginning of how we can use AI to make our lives better or more convenient, or just flat out stuff we never could have got before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and the more we educate people and tell the story and showcase studies and do like live video demos, the more they're going to see, like, oh, now I understand how I could use that. But until somebody shows you how things connect, it like, you can't even imagine what's possible. And I think a lot of these AI companies are really right at the beginning of just imagining what's possible. You know, just the just HeyGen or video platforms alone, like, just imagine the possibility we can create an AI version of you. Right, 2 years ago, I was creating clones of myself, and I look back at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're terrible. But at the time, they were amazing,
Mm-hmm.
right? All it
Yeah.
did was animate my mouth. Now it animates my whole body, my arms, and it can change what I'm wearing and stick me in a completely different environment. Like, how is that possible? But but somebody imagined it and now you can do it. But if you didn't know that was even possible, you're like, oh, Tom, it doesn't make any sense. But
Mm-hmm.
there are platforms that do that. And until you thought that you needed it, you didn't need it, right? That's all marketing. Marketing is all about trying to convince somebody they didn't even know they had this problem,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, so whether any new product that comes on the market or new version of a product, if you don't know you need it, now we just have to convince you that you need it, right?
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Yeah, it is interesting because it's about, I think ultimately marketing comes down to sharing an idea, right? And I think Seth Godin said that. And yeah, sometimes it's trying to solve a problem they know that they have, but sometimes it's uncovering one that they don't.
right? Which
So
creating a problem for
yeah.
them to have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, well, you think of the older companies that they had, let's call it newer technology at the time, and you didn't even know you had the problem. They created a whole problem. You think of the Gillette razor, right?
Hmm.
Women didn't shave their legs before Gillette told them that it would be better if they did,
Hmm.
right? The women didn't have this problem. Gillette said, "Oh, why are only men buying our razors? Women should buy our razors." And they created a whole new problem. And that's what all these new companies need to do. They need to find a way that says, here's the problem we solve. Who else could potentially have this problem?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then show how it's going to be better for you,
yeah.
right?
Totally. Yeah, I think that definitely helps kind of frame how undiscovered problems are something that you can talk about to help customers say, oh, yeah, maybe second guess, like, oh, yeah, maybe I should look at this in a different way. So,
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't know I had a problem of being in my production studios shooting videos. Right
right.
now, I know. Oh my gosh, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't even have to be the one that says it. I don't have to be the one that writes the script to have what I say. Right,
Yep. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Was doing it my old fashioned way. Production studio, lots of time, video editing. Not anymore.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All right. So as these companies scale, they either start to click or they start to break, right? So what are the key
Mm.
signals that you think in a go-to-market strategy, if it's working or it's breaking down as you grow?
Oh boy, it depends on the company, right? So I don't know that the company always breaks down because of their marketing. I think companies break down because of their internal structure and technologies as to how they're going to move forward, right? Anytime you have rapid growth in any company, it's you have a whole new set of problems, right? So if you break business down to its core fundamentals of you have you have sales, you have marketing, you have operations, you have finance, you have HR. If any one of those gets out of alignment or out of whack, the rest of it suffers in some way, right? So when
Mhm.
we have amazing marketing and amazing sales numbers and we weren't ready for the back end production or the sales team or the customer service or how are we going to collect money, like I think that's where these companies really get themselves into trouble. Anytime you have rapid growth, like it's stressful to have rapid growth.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
But most of these companies, they're heavily funded, right? They're venture capital backed. It's when you're not and you don't have those funds to pull from. Now, what are you going to do, right? That's why people go in Shark Tank, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
like I have this great product and people are buying it, but man, I need money and the bank won't give me more money. All right,
Hmm. Hmm.
Robert Herjavec, will you give me more
Hmm.
money? like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I had a friend who did that actually. So yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely one of those. You got to get the resources from somewhere. So awesome. All right.
yeah,
Well, these have been good insights. I really appreciate it. Now we kind of move into the rapid fire round where I ask everybody, they're all my guests, the same questions. Let's kind of hear the different responses across each of them. So, are you
yeah.
ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Awesome. All right. Favorite marketing tool?
SEMrush.
Hmm. Tell me more.
It is so good at analyzing data and tracking things for good SEO rankings. They're even moving into AI visibility tracking, right? So when you look at the fundamentals of marketing, right, we have to have a good solid website, a place we're driving them to make those purchases. And to me, the number one thing you need to do is master SEO, right? How do I rank on Google? And
Mhm.
now it's how do I rank on ChatGPTs? And I think SEMrush is such a industry standard for digital marketers that's absolutely my go-to tool for analyzing what's going wrong with your search engine rankings.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's a good one to bring up. Making sure that you have the kind of SEO tool to really help you stand out. So that's good.
Yeah,
Um, Next question is, what do you think the most underrated skill is in product marketing?
messaging,
Messaging. Tell me
messaging.
more.
Yeah, I think across the board as marketers, we're bad messengers,
Hmm.
right? It's kind of my theme here is get the content right. If the content is part of what they're how they're going to make that buying decision, and if you miss that, you've completely missed it. I was talking to we have a client who's using a pretty high tech vendor product, really unusual in the space. Like I had never heard of it, and and they said, well, listen, Tom, we want to meet with you because we have all this cool marketing materials that we think will help you help your client. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. And I get it and I go, oh, you don't understand. Like this didn't help me at all. Here's what I need. And I took their product and gave them a bunch of messaging back. And I'm like, this is what I need. I need I need who it resonates with. And you gave me technical facts and figures that don't translate into benefits. You just gave me features and no benefits.
Mm.
And I think over and over again, I can just point countless examples of not huge companies don't do it, but that mid tier market and small companies screw it up all the time.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. I mean, that's a kind of the foundation of what we're talking about earlier is just the messaging, the ability to connect with the customer in a way that resonates with them.
Yeah,
All right. What's the biggest mistake to avoid in product marketing?
biggest mistake, not being ready for the growth.
Mm.
You know,
How
I
so?
yeah, I I think you have to have a strategic plan in place to say, well, when the growth happens, how do we handle that?
Mm, hmm, hmm.
And maybe what's not just that, but what's that next product development that happens? I think a lot of especially a lot of these new companies, they didn't really think through all of it, right?
Hmm.
Like they're we're so quick to go to market that we deliver a half baked plan,
Hmm.
right? So the product really wasn't ready. So you get these beta testers in to see like how is it? And it's good enough. So now you put it out. We were using a software tool, and every employee we have, the user goes into like everybody gets their own user account, and anything that an employee did or built in that system, when I had an employee who left, and when I removed her from the system, everything she did went away.
Mm.
Oh my god, all her work product
Oh boy.
vanished. We're like, oh my god, where did it go? Right? And they're like, oh, we didn't think about that. That would be a problem.
Oopsies.
They're like, we'll get it back for you. Okay. They're like, fix that. Right. So it's that they're growing rapidly and they're adding lots of new features, but there was I'm going to call that a bug in the system that they didn't plan for.
Hmm. Yeah.
Now they
Totally.
know,
Yeah.
right?
Planning ahead for sure. That
Yeah.
totally makes
And
sense.
we're super users of the product. So we're going to find another 20 bugs and they're going to fix it for us.
Hmm.
And yeah. And I mean, it's a great product. We love it. But there's always, new product development. There's always something,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like build a complex custom database website, right? The customer will always come back and go, "Oh, doesn't it do this?" No, we didn't spec that out. Well, why not? Amazon does it. Okay, yeah. Your website for your small business and Amazon, who spends millions and millions and millions every month on their website, not the same product, right? So
Very good. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Um, Next question is, what's one thing you wish you knew when you started in marketing?
I wish I knew better how to handle conversion rate optimization.
Mhm.
So I think, at the beginning, well, to be fair, Josh, this is my 30th year. So,
Got it.
um, right. So, I started a company in 97. I had been doing it a year prior to that, building websites for small businesses.
Mhm.
And then I could screw into SEO, Google Ads, social, like as the new stuff popped in there. But, you know, the marketing was just less good back then, right? People didn't really understand websites, and you couldn't do a lot of stuff with them. So if I have to go back to what's one thing I wish I knew when I started, man, I started so long ago. There was 14.4 baud modems. Like, we're not even talking about the same thing, right? Um,
Yeah.
5 minutes later, your hotel website would load, um,
Yeah.
literally. But just really having just basic fundamental conversion rate optimization. So in other words, what is the main thing you want them to do when they're on your website? Is it schedule a consultation? Is it book a meeting? Is it buy now? Is it get a demo? Like, what do you want them to do? And that's got to be a button, and it's got to be in the upper right-hand corner. And then you need your phone number right above it. And companies that don't want to put their phone number because they haven't figured out how to do customer service, they're making a big mistake, because companies that will do customer service and will let you talk to a human being, even if it's an AI human being, they're just gonna win.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, especially in the younger startup phase.
For
You
sure.
know, I know we all want to be like, oh, I don't want anybody to talk to me, because a lot of software companies you can't call them,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's challenging.
Exactly.
You know,
Awesome. All right. Well, the last question is, what's your favorite podcast?
aside from yours, Josh,
Of course.
I'm gonna go. My favorite podcast is a Mel Robbins podcast.
Mm.
I, I
Yes,
I
I'm
have to
with
be
you
honest.
on that.
I love all the stuff that she yaps about. I'm thoroughly entertained. I laugh through most of them. I now have fears about things I never had fears about before, because I listened to some doctor scientist about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. I should eat less meat. I should exercise more. Like,
Yeah.
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 So
I literally have her book over here, the Let Them theory. So,
yeah, yeah, that's
um,
a great one. My wife read that book and she goes, "Did you write this book, honey?" like, like I talk about those concepts all the time, just in life. Well, just let them do that. Like, does it matter? Like, is it
yeah.
really a problem?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. No, she
So
definitely has a good podcast, and like some of her
yeah,
kind of
yeah, great,
psychoanalysis.
exactly. Yeah, the what is
Interesting.
the not the 5 second rule? Is it the 5 second rule? I love that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one, but yeah. Cool.
So
That's awesome. Yeah. Definitely. That's a good one. That's a good recommendation. All right, Tom. Well, this has been a great conversation. I think the go-to-market alignment piece is one of the most things that most people talk about, but few teams actually really do it. I appreciate
mm,
how grounded you've been in the kind of the practical execution. So thanks for being on the show today.
you bet. Thank you.
Absolutely. And to everyone listening, if you're building and scaling up an AI company, your go-to-market strategy isn't just about launching. It's about aligning teams, clarifying value, and driving consistent adoption. Thanks for tuning in to Marketing Pack Leaders. I'm Josh Porter. See you next time.